Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. Welcome back to Let's Build Pirate Valley. Today is part 8. And oh boy, am I very happy with what we end up with today. Today we're building a prison, and that's pretty much it. This was a bit of a shorter Let's Build than some of the previous ones. This one was like 2 hours as opposed to closer to 3, which is alright from time to time, you know. We spent a little bit last time building, but we focused our efforts onto one structure as opposed to several, and I absolutely adore what we end up with. This building actually has the best, in my opinion, the best interior out of anything I've done so far in Pirate Valley. It kind of makes me want to go back and change the interiors of pretty much every other building to make them a bit, well, the buildings that I can change. Not all of them can be changed. Some of them are just small shops that really don't have all that much room to play with, but I mean, this building, like I said, it's a prison. It has a holding cell, it has space for toilets, it has like regular cells, it has solitary cells. It's like Prison Architect. It's like I'm playing Prison Art. It's not at all, but that's fine. Also, I want to point out that toilet I just placed. The Twitch chat at the time was like, okay, you're placing another toilet? Yeah, but that was just to measure things so I could get the walkway in there properly. I then did add 3 more toilets, but that's beside the point. The point is, that original one was just so I could measure things. Also, I absolutely adore measuring out where pathways are going to go. Because I did that with that original toilet facility, and then I was able to get the walls perfectly against the pathways, and then I used the little trick I do where you sort of make the right angle corner as if you're going to continue your pathway in one direction, but then don't continue it. And that way the pathway goes right up to the wall and it looks like it's a proper floor as opposed to a park pathway. I absolutely adore that. I really do. It's so useful to do, and I just love how this interior space looks. I spent a bit more time than I should have working on these windows to get the bars on them. But in the end, I'm really pleased with what we wind up with here. I use those are like little sort of balcony things. Not balcony, I don't know what you'd call them, I can't remember. But I used these things here. I put some on the bottom, some on the top, and then I basically had barred windows in the, that's the holding cell in there, basically, is what that is. And I don't know, man. I really enjoy how this prison turned out. I don't know. It kind of makes me want to put more effort into individual buildings, which is something I probably should do anyway. But this has convinced me that, like, as long as it's going to take to finish Pirate Valley, because I was sitting down the other day and thinking, like, I kind of might want to get this done before terraforming, because the point of Pirate Valley is to sort of conform the park to the land, as opposed to changing all of the landscape to make it work. And I know that this is going to sound really sort of pretentious, but my vision for Pirate Valley is going to be, like, slightly altered if I can edit the terrain, because I know what I'm like. And I know that, like, 30 episodes into a Let's Build series, I'm going to sit down and go, you know what? I'm going to make the terrain work for me. And I like that the challenge of this is that I'm not doing that right now. So I'm either going to limit like, if I'm still doing Pirate Valley when terrain editing comes out on May 24th, I'm going to not allow myself to use it. And then we'll maybe just have a look at terrain editing in, like, a separate video. But that's kind of my thinking. I want to, like, limit myself to work with the terrain and not make the terrain work for me. And in general, I think any Let's Builds that I do end up using terraforming with will probably be similar, in the sense that I will do all of the terraforming first. I will, like, get everything in that I can for terraforming, and then from there, it's whatever we end up with. Like, one episode will be dedicated to making the map, and then the others will be, like, just building on it. No more terraforming, except for, like, minimal little bits of terraforming, but on a grand scale, there'll be, like, minimal terraforming. Anyway, what you saw me doing there was adding in some very cold stone benches to the holding cell. Which, by the way, the holding cell is nothing impressive. I wanted to do a little bit more with it, but we, again, as I've mentioned before, we don't have furniture in Planet Coaster, so that's it's not currently an option to make that work. Anyway, a bit of a cut in the video there, and now we're working on the main sort of cell block, which I adore. I ended up using these those sort of quarter corner pieces For the cells, to make them feel a little bit more cramped on the inside, I thought I'd give it an interesting shape. And I did want to get the sort of half wall piece there, so I could do my own doors. And I end up using these metal support things for some cell doors, which, as someone correctly pointed out, they sort of look like the doors you would have on a stable for a horse. But we will imagine that they don't, and that they're actual, like, barred cell doors. Because that's what they're supposed to be. And stop stifling my creative vision, okay? Anyway, let's get on to something that everyone's actually here for. And that something is, of course, the flag fact for the video, which is going to be the same one that I read during the stream for this. Because if you're not aware, I've mentioned it already, and I'm going to plug it in every episode. Some people get really annoyed when I plug my Twitch streams in these videos. You don't have to watch them, guys. You don't. Like, the video's here, so that if you don't want to watch the Twitch stream, you still get the same content. Alright? Just cool it, alright? But here's the fact I read for hitting 4,000 followers on our Twitch stream, which was that the 50-star pattern for the US flag was created by a high school student. And the thing reads, when Alaska and Hawaii became states 49 and 50, President Eisenhower received thousands of ideas for an updated flag. Almost all of them were of a 50-star flag, including one from Robert G. Heft, a 17-year-old student at Lancaster High School in Ohio, who created the design for a class project. He was one of 3 to submit the version that was accepted and remains in use today. I also had the interesting fact that the current flag of the US, the 50-star flag, is the first one to have lasted 50 years, and in contrast to that, in the early 1800s, the flag went through 17 different versions. I knew that one about the 50-year flag, and the fact that it changed a lot in the early 1800s. I knew that one already. I don't know how I knew that. I didn't learn that in geography or anything. I think that's one of those things I probably saw on Reddit, and it just stuck with me. But yeah, I knew that one. Which is just, there you go. My general knowledge is apparently unparalleled. That's a lie. But it's okay. Anyway, what we're doing at the moment is just adding a bit of detail to the both the interior and exterior of the building. I wanted to give this building a little bit more of a rundown look. So what I did was I put wood on the inside of the upper floor, which you end up not really seeing on the inside of the building anyway. But I put it there, and I put some windows over it on the outside to make it look like they're boarded up. And I also end up putting some sort of stone turrets on the outside. I end up putting some seaweed out there. I do some things to make the building look a little bit more run down. Also, these doors here, I know people weren't happy about these doors, but they're kind of all I could work with. I couldn't use the same metal door style that I'd done downstairs because it would go through the ceiling. And just generally because it didn't quite work in the same way I wanted it to. But I like them. I think they kind of work. I used the wood pillars to sort of border it a little bit. And I like to think it worked. I think it looked pretty cool. Just in general, I absolutely love how this prison interior looks. I don't know why. I don't know why I put so much more detail into this than I've done in other buildings, but like I said, it's made me want to go back. I want to go back and look at those other buildings and see what I can do with them and make them better. Because I look at this and it's like, that's a cool looking building. So I don't know. We may do that at some point. I also want to mention, like, all the lights I'm doing in here. I know not all of them make sense. But in my mind, I was looking at this and going, I feel like this would be creepy at nighttime. So I want to add some red lights in here, some green lights. Like, there's one of the cells has a green light in there to sort of make it a bit eerie. The red lights to make it a little bit sinister. You know, it's in my mind, this is going to be a scary place to be. So that's what's up with the lights. Also, you may have spotted in a few places, like I've just done there, I'm using those sort of corner pieces to sort of fill in space. That's just because I have to, really. There's a few spaces where you can actually clearly see that's going on from above, but if you're down in the park, you would never spot that, so it's completely fine. But yeah, that's just working with what I have to fill in spaces that I've wound up creating in one way or other. And, I mean, it works. It fills in the space quite nicely, and certainly does the job. We're getting another sort of stone turret on the back here. Again, just using those corner pieces to fill in the space. As as best I can. I love these little stone turrets. I really do. I think they look excellent. It just adds a bit more height to the building, a bit more depth to the building, especially the front of it. The front of it does look a little bit like a castle. It kind of looks okay, though. I kind of like that it looks like a castle. I think that kind of works with it and sort of gives it that secure look. Now, the trees here, I just want to mention, like, just in case anyone points out, well, could you not climb up the tree and get out? I sort of put that tree in there intentionally where it is because you couldn't do that. And I don't think anyone's actually going to care about the fact that I might be able to climb up a tree and out of the prison, in a fictional prison, in a theme park. But I just wanted to mention that because I did think of that while I was building this. I did look at it and go, I don't want to put it too close to the wall because they might be able to climb out. So, the more you know, I suppose. That's what this series is all about, basically, I realize. Flag facts, general knowledge, and me just teaching the world stuff. I'm like that, I'm like the teacher in high school that doesn't actually, like, teach a class. He just takes, like, he watches you for, like, form class. What was it called? I can't remember. I think it was just, like, form was usually what the class was called, like 30 minutes every 2 weeks in my high school. You just sit there and sort of go over, like, okay, so, you know, here's what we're doing, here, blah, blah, blah. Like, you kind of just sit there and talk, really. There wasn't any teaching to do. And it really boiled down after not very long to pretty much just sitting there and doing whatever work you have from another class. So much so that people often got all their homework done in that class. But what I'm getting at is I'm the teacher that only takes that class. I don't actually teach anything. I just sit and talk with you and tell you, like, miscellaneous crap and general knowledge. Like, oh, did you know this? And then eventually it boils down to me not even doing that, and I just sit there and go, okay, do whatever. Okay, let's watch a DVD. I may be channeling some memories from high school because those classes were excellent. Another excellent class was Spanish, actually, because my Spanish teacher didn't care. Not that he didn't care. He was a good Spanish teacher. But anytime there was a holiday or a half day and we had Spanish that day, we would watch an Adam Sandler movie. And I'm not joking. I watched Happy Gilmore about 20 times during high school in Spanish class. I don't know what the link is, but he friggin' loved Adam Sandler. And it was great, because I was young enough to find Adam Sandler hilarious. And to be fair, Happy Gilmore to this day is still an excellent movie. I don't care what anyone thinks of Adam Sandler. What was the other? Waterboy. Waterboy is also an excellent movie. Just saying. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up a little bit early with this video and let you have the cinematics without my commentary because the music's a little bit different and I think it's funky. So yeah, we're just building a toilet into a cave there because I can. But if you have any ideas for this Let's Build, do let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your suggestions, but with that in mind, that is going to be it for today. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been Planet Coaster, Let's Build Pirate Valley Part 8, almost at 7, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!